I pushed the go live button and I looked at it and was like, oh shit, are we already live? And I was like, okay, never mind. We're good. We're good. And I'm sorry for the echo, everybody. You gotta give me a second to switch my audio output. So give me 1 second. Because, as always, there is always one thing that I always forget to do when I'm about to stream, and it's a different thing every fucking time, too. There we go. Now, Jesse, I should be able to hear you through my headset. Well, I hope not. I changed that setting a long time ago. But it's still saying you are silent. Ah, god damn it. Give me a second. Hey, hey. Oh, that's not what I want. Thank you very much. Thank you. Screen time. Is it because it's changed? Oh, I think it's because it's changed. There we go. Let's try that again. Alright, say something?
Can? No.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so like when Whitney went in and like changed the icon of our stream time, it messed up the Discord for it too. The OBS for it too, so I had to go back in and like adjust it. Where'd my pen go? There's my pen.
Changing an icon to that.
Yeah, I know, right? How could it ever possibly do that? So I'm still looking for a pose for today's drawing.
Okay.
Because I think I kind of sort of know what I want to do. And once I figure out that is exactly what I want to do, then it'll be a guessing game. For at least one thing. It'll be for one thing.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I think this will just have to be because it's like already late. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Good thing I didn't do that intentionally. Okay. Okay. Now I just need to look up a specific thing and things. Just things. Oh, that's hideous. But I like. Oh, that's adorable. What do you mean? That's so cute. Hang on, I gotta look at this. Oh, look at the baby. It's probably gonna be my reference. Or, oh, excuse me, what? Why is it always so flippin' tiny? That's okay, that's also a good little pose reference. Oh, that's gory. That's also hideous. I didn't know they. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my god, I just found a picture that resembles something I could see Whitney doing in the game. I'm gonna open that image so I can show her later. And give her like, this reminded me of you. And she's gonna be like, how the hell does that remind you of me? And I'm gonna be like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Alright. I have the pose.
Okay.
It's whether or not I can get this straight. Alright, Casey, your big fat booty is in my way. I apologize, everybody. It's very, very hot, and my cat's only means of trying to cool down is actually on my desk. Because the carpet's too hot for him. It's okay, honey. We're not calling you fat, but we're calling you fat. Aw, you rolling over for your tummy? I swear, both my cats are the only cats in the world that love tummy rubs. Like, they don't attack me me when I rub their bellies, and I'm very grateful for their. Hey, I can't read that. Hang on a second, Whitney. I just saw your. Show me now. I can't. I have to wait till after. Otherwise, you'll get the guessing game. But if you don't, if you want to forego your guessing, I can show you.
I mean,
Anyway, so my cats, because I don't know what the delay latency is, so they let me pet their bellies. And for Casey, it's like the greatest thing because he'll just actually roll over. You can give hints. Okay, yeah, we could do that. All right, I will send it to you via Discord then. So for a split moment, everybody, because I had to leave, you won't hear Jesse at all. Okay, let me just actually screenshot that. Sorry, everybody. And then I have to give a little message to Whitney when I do this too, because why not?
do.
Alright. You should be back now.
Do.
I am quieter than Jesse. The mic is further away, but let me actually turn it up. Alright, how about now? The fan's also like blowing in the background, and I moved my mic in favor of my cat being able to like sprawl out so that the air coming through hits his body more. I am the same. Shit.
Fan is also going on in the background.
It's the same. Let me just. Oh wow, that's like super loud for me. Okay, I can hear the fan in the background from my mic.
Hey.
Oh God. Okay, you gotta. There we go. Turn you down. What about now, Whitney? So, I think
Reload my stream.
Excuse you? Yeah.
I said,
Oh God.
reload my stream.
It was that like, we might be disconnecting. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
You all went quiet for a moment. Yeah, I think the stream disconnected for a second there. But you can hear me now. Wow. I still sound the same. Yeah. Okay. I don't know actually why I'm so quiet. Maybe like. All right, hang on. Let me actually turn my mic back down because. Oh, you know what? I wonder if that makes a difference. How about now, Whitney? Can you? Jesus Christ, what is going on? How about meow? Can you hear me meow?
It might be the gain on your mic.
Okay, if it is, well, I can go through settings and change the gain. Let me see. Let me see what I can
Do you have a little?
do.
Do you have a button on the back of your microphone? Or a toggle?
Yeah. It's worse. Okay. So I actually pressed that button because Whitney said that it was, she couldn't hear me, so I pressed it to see if it was better, and she just told me it was worse.
So usually that button is either for your gain or for, I forget what that setting is called, but either it captures sound from directly in front of you or from all around you.
So Whitney,
And without looking at your mic, I can't tell you what your button does.
My mic on OBS is at its highest.
So we'd probably have to fiddle around with your actual mic settings then.
I'm gonna actually increase the volume percentage directly from the advanced settings and see if that works. Because I can't do it from the audio mixer. I have to go through advanced properties to do it, so I don't know if that worked or not, but there we go. It's also like 8 minutes in, so. Oh. Ah! Oh, God. I don't like that. Okay. Does that work better for me? Every time I increase the mic volume manually from outside of the computer, turn Jesse down a little. There you go. I don't know if that worked or not. Jesse. Sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. We are experiencing some minor issues. Minor technical issues. Say something, Jess. I need to know how loud you are.
Am I loud?
I could also
How about now?
turn you down in Discord for myself. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Turn all the audio. I wonder how high this actually does go. Let's see. Pretty frickin' far. We'll go up to 10. I wonder if that's actually too loud. Let's drop it back down to 8. Okay. How about now? I gotta make sure like I'm not too terribly loud for everybody else. It makes it
still sound good.
It's still really hope that other people can hear me too, but it's really hard to gauge that because Whitney's the only one in chat. Okay.
Still sound fine on my end, and I think it is just me and Whitney here.
We are about the same volume now. Okay. That makes sense because she's at -8 and I'm at +8. I could just... But your fan is super loud. Yeah,
Nothing we can do
I'm
about
not going to turn off my fan in favor of the stream. Like, I apologize, but I'm not apologizing because it's like 110 up here. I'm not turning my fan off. I have no air conditioning.
Erin?
Hello, Erin. No, I know you didn't say we had to, but it's just gonna be loud with the fan. I'm sorry. Hello, helper. Thank y'all. Volume is great. Okay. So I'm gonna start the stream off with saying that if you hear the fan or any other like loud fan-like noises in the background, I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I'm not turning that off, and Jessie is also not turning off her AC because it is in the hundreds here.
As hot as balls here, y'all.
And I have no AC. This is my only AC, is the fan. And if I move my mic back behind the wall, it might like cover that noise a little bit, but I don't know if anybody can hear me because I had moved it like more forward towards me, but I heard it made me super quiet. So anyway, okay. We will adjust accordingly throughout this stream for everybody when we need to. And I forgot to turn that on. Ooh, my bad. Okay, so welcome back from our month-long hiatus from Panel Protagonists. I'm Melly.
Yes.
And today we will be talking about Fallout. Oh, so I apparently didn't have anything set up yet. So Fallout. That's all I got because it's so hot. Okay. We will be talking about Fallout today, and I'm super excited to be back. Unfortunately, I won't be here next weekend, so this will be like stream and then a break. But I have an announcement about next weekend. at the end of stream today. So
And then wow.
today is a guessing game. It is technically 2 parts. The second part's probably more for the Confab Corner Discord server than it is for people who are not in the server yet. Only because people would know other people in the server. So, today, there is going to be 2 characters on this piece. And if you can guess both characters, then you will get experience points on Confab Corner. Or if you're not on Confab Corner, you get brownie points. Hello. A shout out for being a super awesome, totally rad person. So, these points will be worth 150 each. The one of them's going to be pretty simple, I think, to get. The other one, I'm not really looking for a character name other than a person. So, with that being said, Jesse, take it away for our Fallout intro.
Yay! I've been wanting to talk about Fallout for a while, and I'm super happy that Whitney is here, because if I messed it up anywhere, I know that at least for a little bit she'll be in chat to correct me, because she knows her stuff real well. So today, guys, just be aware, maybe potential spoilers for some of the Fallout games. So if you haven't played any of these, just be aware, or if you haven't watched the TV show yet, potential mild spoilers for all of the games and TV show. And I'm not going to go in like super great depth about anything in here, because there's 6 canon games in a TV show, and it's too much to do in an hour and a half to 2 hours, and nobody has that kind of time. So we're just going to have like a really high overview, starting with the important players of the Fallout series as a whole.
The series?
Well, the series and the games. So starting with Rob Coe and Vault Tech. These are the 2 kind of, not necessarily competitors, but contemporaries in their field. They're super high-tech kind of robotics and technology sphere, and Robert House, the founder of Vault Tech, becomes important in 2, 1, 2, 1. I can't remember.
Wow.
Those games are old enough that I can't remember. Then we have the Enclave, which comes up over and over and over and over.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
It's just like a paramilitary organization pretending to be the government. And and then we have the Brotherhood of Steel, who everyone is aware of, because pretty much if you play the game, you joined the Brotherhood of Steel at some point, probably. They're another paramilitary organization, but they really, really like their technology. And if you watched the TV show, you kind of get a feel for what they're trying to do. The show makes it seem like they're trying to make a historical record of all of the pre-war technology.
Oh, yeah?
And I guess in the games, somewhat that's what they did. But they did more than that also. There was in the show, there was, I feel, more of a religious connotation to the Brotherhood of Steel. than there was in the game. At least that's what I felt. Then we have the Institute and the Railroad. The Institute is like this really bizarre collective of scientists that created the synthetic humans. I'm having a problem with that word today. And then the Railroad is kind of their nemesis. They're trying to get synths away from the Institute. So if you can think about like real world slavery and the Underground Railroad, that's what this version of the Railroad
I didn't know we were going there. Did not.
I mean, that's what it's based on. That's why it's called the Railroad. Then we have the Minutemen. And the Minutemen are what?
Sorry, I'm reading chat.
Oh, okay. The Minutemen are kind of like a Revolutionary era militia, basically. And they pop up in 4, I think, is where they are. Basically, they're a militia. And not popping up in great relevance in the TV show, but in some of the older games, particularly 1 and 2. We have the New California Republic, which is a collection of peoples who broke away from one of the vaults in the LA area, and they founded this town, Shady Sands, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Not too much, but we will. They form essentially at least temporarily, the new capital of the U.S. until the TV show reveals how it ended, and it didn't end well. And then we have, just super quick, some of the baddies you encounter in the games. We have raiders, which are exactly what they sound like, and then ghouls and super mutants. Ghouls can be good, but they can be bad, and then super mutants, which have just mutants, which have a leveling system. You can have super mutants, you can have what are they called, deadly mutants, or super deadly mutants, or I can't remember all of the silly names, though. You can have mutant hounds. I think there's a mutant chipmunk somewhere, if I remember right.
Mutant chipmunk.
Yeah. So, popping up in most of the games are those players. Not all the games, but most of the games. And then nearly every game has a faction or 2 or 3 that are not present on this list, but are specific to the game that you are playing. So, Fallout, I'm sure everybody knows, is a series of games about a alternate timeline U.S. Beginning in the mid-20th century, so that's roughly the 1950s.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In a timeline where somewhere after World War II, our timeline keeps going and their timeline takes a hard left. And that version of the US still advances in all their technology, like way past us. But they retain the aesthetic of that retro 1950s style. And due to the sharp rise in communism that they still have, the government of the US decides, hey, this current 50 state thing isn't working. We're gonna change that, and y'all are going to be 13 commonwealths now. And I'm sure you can imagine, much like it would do today, people don't take that very well. It goes over kind of sort of okay in the beginning, but then in the end, what it leads to basically is a government that is completely and totally run by people who, well, I mean, it's today's government essentially. If you want to go that route, people who really want to just have control of everything. They do have control of everything, and there's infighting like everywhere.
Oh, of course there is.
Yeah, of course there is, right?
Of course there is.
So years advance like this, we go through the 13 commonwealths for a while, and Robco and Vault-Tec rise to prominence, right? That's how they had all their technology flourish.
Oh.
And in the intervening years, things go to shit.
Of course they do.
A war breaks out, and it's over resources because
of course they are. Of course it is. Of course it is.
And it basically it involves the entire planet. The major players really are the US, Russia, China, and somebody else that I'm forgetting. I can't remember. It's basically...
That's a Whitney question.
It is. It's basically those three, though. So the U.S. government sees the writing on the wall, and they're like, we're going to set up this super duper secret project called Project Safe House. And Project Safe House is a dual commission between Vault-Tec and Robco. And it is to... Oh, yeah, maybe Canada. Yeah. And it is to establish the construction of 122 quote-unquote public vaults across the country that the American people were told would hold 1,000 citizens each, and it would keep them, again, quote-unquote, safe from nuclear fallout. And public knowledge, again, of this at the time was that the government was working on this with just Robco and Vault-Tec, but really the government co-commissioned Project Safe House with the Enclave.
Womp, womp, womp!
Who were an unknown entity at the time to the public.
Ooh. Oh.
So,
I like the pause, the dramatic pause before we continue.
Right. Sorry. So, as anyone knows who has played Fallout, safe wasn't exactly what the vaults were. If you were super, super, super lucky, you got a control vault. But what most of the vaults were a horrid scientific experiment commissioned by all of the above. To what end? Unclear. We don't know.
To play God. What are you talking about? It's to play God.
Oh my God, yeah, that's probably accurate. So, resources run extra.
Gary!
Gary! Yes, that was the project. That was the aim of all the vaults. Gary.
Gary, how dare you.
So, in 2025, this resource war officially begins. And that's when the whole world gets involved in all of this chicanery. and
Wait,
roughly
back up. Did you say chicanery?
chicanery.
It's like, are you trying to do a play on words for charcuterie?
Nope, that's a real word.
Chicanery is a real
Chicanery.
word.
Yeah. I'm expanding your vocabulary.
Chicanery. Spell that.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't? Because this is what I'm imagining. So for everybody in chat. Chicanery. It's like a spelling bee. You're SHITCATERIE. And then the guy's like, that's correct. You move on to the next word. Okay.
It's like we're at a spelling bee. Chicanery.
Canery?
Anyway.
Wait. Canery, not catery?
Yeah, yes, Whitney, that's probably right. Chicanery.
Because
You're gonna make me
listen.
break out my phone.
Listen though, but when you said it, it sounded like you said shit, and then.
Well, that's definitely not what I said. Chicanery. The use of trickery to achieve a political, financial, or legal purpose.
Well, at least you used it correctly.
I did.
I'm very proud of you, by the way. Good job.
Wow, Jessica knows words.
I know. We taught you well.
All right. In 2077, the same year that cyberpunk becomes a thing, the world's superpowers pretty much destroy each other.
We're still talking
They
about that?
nuke the shit out of each other. And here's where I'm going to say that for timeline reasons, it is important to note that Los Angeles and Boston get nuked out of existence at the same time.
Oh.
So if you have played 1 or 4, those two things happen at the same time.
Yes!
So timeline wise, 1 and 4 are both at the beginning.
What a twist!
Melly, have you ever played?
I played a little. I literally only played a little bit.
Of which one do you remember?
4.
Oh, okay. So you played the beginning where you're making your little domestic self in front of the mirror.
Yep.
And your wife comes up and she's like, hurry up, there's a guy at the door.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. So, that was probably the first entry point for a lot of people. It's either, yeah, it's probably a toss-up between 3 and 4. It's funny, Whitney and I were just talking about this. It's probably a toss-up between 3 and 4 as to which game probably drew in.
What was the best part, other than, the actual bombing?
Okay. They did. They fell on Halloween.
Oh!
That is true, too. They were creepier in 1 than they were in 4.
I wonder if I can do this. Wish me luck, you guys. I'm about to perform a feat.
Oh my god. Can I guess now? I know what it is.
Oh, what time is it? Yeah, I guess you can guess if you really want to.
Is it a Deathclaw?
It is a Deathclaw.
Oh my god.
Wow. It's like you played the game or something.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So, we're gonna go roughly in timeline order.
Are we?
And I say roughly because some things are kind of
the horns
up in
give it
the air
away.
a little bit.
Nah,
Yeah.
the horns don't give it away. I don't know what you're talking about.
So, the first canonical vault to open is 76. And I haven't played Fallout 76. Only the Wit has played 76. But in all the promotional material, they make a huge deal out of Reclamation Day. It's the ad where everybody's not in that fancy schmancy party room and
I
they're
hate it.
singing the song. And we see that, whoopsie, the vault is open and stuff has gone catastrophically wrong. So this vault opens in 2102, and inside of Fallout 76, since it is an MMO,
Ew.
technically, there is a story, but technically, you don't have to do the story. So, Wit, I don't know how much you've done of the story, so spoilers for you if you haven't, but when you open your vault, you are given a secret mission, and your secret mission is to acquire a shit ton of nuclear weapons. Because you are supposed to destroy...
The
What's it
communists?
called? No, they're called the Scorched. Since you're the first vault to open, you're like the first peoples to encounter, what's on the other side. So they're called the Scorched. And what you find out during this mission is that maybe, possibly, potentially the Enclave had something to do with it. So you can decide, I think you can decide anyway, to use your nukes in a particular way.
Oh.
And not the way that you were supposed to use them originally. But you can visit a couple of other vaults inside of 76, one of which is 79, which according to...
Not 69?
No, not 69.
Damn.
79. Which according to the lore now houses the entirety of the gold reserves for the U.S. So for anyone who doesn't know, 76 takes place in kind of that Virginia, North Carolina area. So yeah, you find the U.S. Treasury in a vault.
What a twist.
You can take it for yourself. I don't think you have to. I think you can just leave it there. But yeah, you can absolutely take it for yourself. I'm trying to find if 69 is the actual... No, it is not.
Aww.
69 is not a canonical vault that you find in-game anywhere. So you could just make up your own headcanon for that one. Oh yeah, along with ghouls that used to be Secret Service. So, moving on from 76, we go to Fallout 1, so the OG.
There's lore, but not canon.
OG Fallout 1, where you, the Vault Dweller, emerge from Vault 13, where a malfunctioning water processing unit forces you to the surface. You're looking for a chip, a microchip, for your water processing unit. And you encounter loads of weird things in Fallout 1. You visit several other vaults, including 12 and 15. 13 isn't 2.
Get your fucking shit together, Jesse.
It's kind of hard because a lot of these vaults are right there together in the general Los Angeles area. And you can just, it's really easy to imagine that you could visit them all in one game, but you don't. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Amazon show visits this area, complete with a trip to Shady Sands, which is a location that you visit in Fallout 1. You do get a brief rundown of the New California Republic. I don't recall that they were super in-depth at that time. I think they were just kind of darting up with Shady Sands, and then Whitney mentioned that they're super heavy in New Vegas. I think, if I remember right, weren't they trying to take over New Vegas? I think that was part of that plot.
Sounds about.
She's
That checks
gonna
out.
correct me if I'm wrong. There was a number of parties trying to take over New Vegas. New Vegas was kind of a riot.
The
That's why
dam.
it was so much fun.
The dam.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where you wake up and someone shoots you?
Yes.
Like at the beginning of the game?
Is that at the beginning?
I don't know.
Someone does shoot you. Spoilers. You do get shot.
Oh, no.
The Amazon show also, this is just a sidebar. The show kind of presents you with an amalgamation of two of the vaults from this game, from this area, and I think it presents it as 14, which is not a canonical vault, but it's taken the storyline from 15,
Hey.
which is a canonical vault. And 15 was a horrible place. But it's why those people left to form Shady Sands in the first place. And then it gets repopulated later. Later in the timeline by other people. So that's when you visit it later in the show, if you watch the show. Anyway, moving on.
Wow.
Then we go to Fallout.
That was so
2.
informative.
I know. If you watch the TV show, the vault that you see them go to, it's just kind of eerie. You get this general sense that these people are probably nice, but there's an
Trust no
ulterior
one.
motive.
Trust no one.
Definitely trust no one. Yeah. So Fallout 2 is a direct sequel to the first one, and you actually play as the descendant of your character from the first game, and what would they were called, like the Chosen One or something. Something really, kind of silly like that.
Chosen.
And your character from the first game has set up this city called Arroyo, and now your descendant has to try and save the city of Arroyo. So your canon character from the first game was essentially excommunicated from their own vault after the culminating events of that game. So they're banished. They form this little town of their own, has a kid, and now your kid is trying to save their town by going out in search of a device called a GECK, or a Garden of Eden kit.
Geck.
It's essentially a terraforming kit. And on your way, you are beset by death claws,
Which is what we're doing today. Yippee!
which is what we're doing.
It's kind of
your
GFK.
you encounter the remains of your predecessor's vault. It's infested with death claws.
Oh,
The New California Republic is a thing. You encounter the Enclave again.
well, of course. Why
You
not?
stop a virus a la Resident Evil. You become a hero. And by the way, you kill the president. That's a thing.
Oh, that's. I would like to be more unfortunate by that news, but I'm not.
Yeah, no. You definitely kill the president. It's a thing.
Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Jesse.
Fallout 3.
You scared me because it, like, blipped out for a split second, and I had no idea.
It's actually reloading on my end, so let me refresh.
Excuse you.
That's
Internet,
free.
what the fuck are you doing?
I know. Like I said, it might be me. My connection
It's definitely not you.
Okay, well, I received a phone call yesterday at 11:52 p.m.
Oh.
And the person on the other end, when they left me a message, they said it was at 5:13 p.m. So there's something going on
What
in my
the
town. And I
heck?
don't know if it's just Comcast or if it's AT&T and Comcast or if it's my phone or I don't know.
Wow.
Anyway,
Internet issues to go
Fallout
down.
3.
Jeez.
Fallout 3 is where it started for a lot of people. It's where it started for me. And this is if you've ever seen a screenshot of just generic Fallout, you got probably a 50-50 shot that it came from the back of this character. This is the Vault 101 jumpsuit screenshot. And the prequel, not the prequel, the words are failing.
You got this.
I know I don't though. The beginning of this game has you as a kid and
Oh.
Liam Neeson.
Hey!
Actually, Liam Neeson is prologue. That's the word I was looking for. God.
Wow, okay.
Liam Neeson's sultry voice
Sultry
is coaxing you across a whole prologue's worth of birthdays and chores and goat exams and all the
Goat exam? like the animal?
well, it's spelled like the animal, except it's G period O period A period
okay.
T. As the overseer of Vault 101, kinda goes a little loopy, maybe a little paranoid. You were forced to run into the sweet, irradiated embrace of Washington, D.C. at the tender age of 19.
Sweet. Wait, hold up.
Uh-huh.
19's a kid?
Well, I mean, this
I guess-
kid
I guess.
has been living inside a vault for approximately 100 years or so.
I guess we're just. I guess you and I are just old now and think that 19-year-olds are just fucking kids.
He's been literally as sheltered as a human being can get. So yeah, he's probably a kid.
I'm a big kid now.
There are no street smarts in this world. There is naivete in its purest form.
Is it pure though? Is it?
I mean, if you lived in a vault for 19 years with the same fucking people for your whole 19 years of life, and you did the same thing day in and day out, and all you knew about was the things that these people told you, and then all of a sudden a big fat door opened in your life and you were flung to the wasteland and that door shut behind you and everything you knew was suddenly a lie, you would feel like a child, would you not?
Oh, I never denied that I wouldn't feel like a child. I'm just
Anyway.
giving you shit.
Child. So, dear old dad
Oh.
is gone.
Womp, womp, womp.
And you have to go find him, which is another trope
like high
that
school
the
to college,
TV
yeah.
show takes. So the TV show starts like 2, 1, sorry, and it starts like 3. Because the TV show is primarily, oh, you have to go find your dad, and hey, oh, by the way, our water purifier doesn't work anymore, huh?
Well, it looks like you're gonna have to go do that too, Vault Keeper. Let's go.
No, she actually doesn't go looking for that at all. It's barely it's like a one-liner, and then they completely forget about it. So, if you really, really want to think dark thoughts about the TV show, all the people in the vault while Lucy's out having her little adventure are probably dying of thirst.
That's really unfortunate.
That's a fun little thought.
Whatever. Vault Dweller, Vault Keeper. She was in the vault.
Overseer.
If she is
so
living in the vault. She's
in
a vault
3,
keeper.
the Brotherhood of Steel is now a joinable faction.
Oh.
And they are sort of set up as a counter to the Enclave's bureaucratic bullshit. You can pop into Vault 112.
Yeah. I will never admit it on stream, even if it is
What?
true that I'm wrong.
Vault 112 was fun. It was a virtual reality thing. And then you can also visit Vault 87, which was an awful place.
Yeah? You having PTSD?
It was an awful place. It was full of super mutants.
I do know nothing. That's why Jesse's taking the helm of, like, this entire stream.
That is why.
Yep.
You also visit probably everyone's favorite Fallout location ever, Megaton, unless New Vegas trumps Megaton for you. Which, for a lot of people, New Vegas trumps Megaton, but I really, really like Megaton. And if you got the, 4 expansions, 3 or 4, for Fallout 3, you get to see a giant fucking talking brain and actual legit aliens. So that's a thing that happens in Fallout for some reason.
Dude, if I was an alien and I saw all the shit humanity was doing to, like, destroy their planet, I wouldn't even fucking touch this planet with a 30 light year pole, okay? I would continue on and just, like, say that humanity is a dead race, and, like, whoever sent me to that planet to, like, observe the human race, I guess, I'm gonna be like, nope, it's a dying race.
This was the first game that Bethesda did when they took it over, and I can't quite describe for you the insanity that these DLCs were. Like,
I can take
so
guesses.
weird.
Because it's Bethesda.
It was very Bethesda. Anyway, moving on. Somehow Las Vegas survives. And it's not only surviving, it's like thriving. It doesn't, it gets nuked sort of, but not, it doesn't get destroyed. It's still got electricity, unlike Los Angeles, unlike Boston. It's like a hoppin' fucking place.
Which is super funny when you think about it.
Yeah, I know. And it's really due to the fact that Robert House from Robco has set himself up there in a stasis chamber.
Oh.
And he's been alive there for like, I don't know, 150 years or something like that. And stuff has just been going wild in New Vegas. Gang has moved in. The new California Republic comes in and is like, hey,
we are the gang.
we don't like what's happening in New Vegas, so this is ours now. Somebody else comes in New Vegas too. It's like a it's like an actual military group. Shit, I can't remember their name. Anyway, you get 4 choices for factions, 4 different endings, because you can get a different ending with every faction you join. Yes, that's the one. Yes. I was like, I know it's an actual military thing, but it's a weird name. You can Caesar said so weird. You can blow up Megaton if you want, but please don't. It's a nice place.
Yeah.
And
really, how you feel?
And in the game, you do get shot by this dickwad named Benny. Benny is a coiffed wannabe gangster who shoots you because you were given this thing by a guy named the Courier, and the thing that you were given is a quest item. It is the quest item. It's pivotal to what's happening in the game. Benny wants it, and he shoots you dead to get that thing, and your main quest for the rest of the game is to find and kill Benny. And he is wearing this like awful white and black checkered sport coat thing. I think this is the game where he's voiced by Matthew Perry.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's like voiced by a good actor, but he's such a shitty character in general. Okay.
He's a piece of shit person. And I very much enjoyed murdering him.
I heard that this was probably Whitney that told me this, that you could actually romance it.
Yes. You can. If you can get over the fact that he's a piece of shit.
Some people like pieces of shit though, so
yeah. It's ugh. That game was just the actual insanity that happens in Las Vegas happens in New Vegas. And it's got, I think, 4 DLCs also. I didn't get any of them, so I didn't play. I don't know what occurs in those DLCs, but I'm sure they're just as insane as New Vegas itself actually is. So, in the time it took for the original Vault Dweller to leave and come back, and then the Chosen One from Fallout 2 to leave and come back, and then the individuals from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas to have their adventures, your poor unfortunate soul from Fallout 4 has been literally chilling out in a cryo chamber in Vault 111 after a dude who could have sold you a used station wagon just drops by your house and is like, hey, We want to sell you a spot in this vault. It'll keep you and your cute little family nice and safe.
Whoa, why you gotta
So
say it
you
like
and
that?
your wife and your infant son move into Vault 111 literally immediately before Los Angeles gets bombed off the face of the earth. And as you're falling night-night, you see somebody come up and whisk away your infant son, Sean. I guess you kind of wake up in the middle of it. Somebody wakes you up. I can't remember how that happens. Anyway, you witness the kidnap of your kids. And the entire purpose of Fallout 4 is to search for Sean. It's your whole purpose.
It's my
And
whole reason for...
You pretty much are given.
You find that out later.
Huh?
I'm reading chat.
Oh, okay. Yes, you can find that rep later. Oh, I'm sorry. I mixed those two up. Sorry.
Call out.
Like, Fallout 1 is in Los Angeles. So, in the first 2 hours of the game, Bethesda kind of like cherry picks all of the best things from the previous Fallout games and is like, here, have these nice things. We're going to ruin your life later.
Oh.
So they give you dog meat, best boy ever.
Oh.
They give you 2 new factions. They give you, and in my opinion, this is not the best thing ever because it took me way too fucking long to do this, but they give you a face-off with a death claw in a suit of power armor. And I hated that fight.
You would.
So much.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. Because the railgun on the power suit that you get overheats if you don't let it rest, and I didn't know that. So yeah, because I didn't join the Brotherhood of Steel before, so I didn't know that, and I died a lot.
I mean, Jesse.
Yeah, I died a lot.
Jesse.
And I hate the power armor. I really do. It's clunky and slow. That's my 2 cents. Anyway, unfortunately for everyone who plays Fallout 4, you find Sean, and he's a dick. You find out that Sean is an old douchebag.
Yeah.
And he is the evil beating heart of one of Fallout 4's new factions called the Institute. And he wants
You mean
to...
the Institute of synth-hating pieces of shit?
Yeah. They make synths.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm thinking of something else.
They make synths.
Casey. Sir. Okay, you go
okay?
back to sleep, you son of a bitch.
Good over there?
Yeah, good.
Huh?
Just
Yeah,
good.
so your whole quest this entire time is find your son. All you want to do is hug him and love him and be a family again, and you get to the end of the game and it's like, oh, you're bad. You're a bad man.
Oh.
And yeah, heartbreaking.
Oh, yeah?
My son is evil!
It's like,
Okay.
I never raised you to be this way!
I never raised you at all because you were an infant when you were kidnapped.
My son!
Last canonical vault to open
Oh,
is
no.
the, well, questionably canonical anyway. I'm pretty sure it's canonical at this point. Vault 33, which is the vault from the Amazon Prime TV show. And for anyone who hasn't watched the TV show, this is your warning now. I am going to minorly spoil some things.
Minorly or majorly? Because there's a difference.
Minorly.
Do I need to put up the spoiler tag?
You can if you want.
Put up the spoiler
So,
tag.
Vault 33 is home to this, patriotic, idyllic society of people, much like 76. They're waiting, they're eagerly anticipating Reclamation Day. And
eagerly?
Eagerly.
Eagerly?
Whoopsie daisy. They missed Reclamation Day by well over 200 years. On purpose.
On purpose?
So, Vault 33 is a triad of Vaults 31, 32, and 33 are together. And they're running one experiment together. It's the only collection of vaults that are doing this. And it's a horrible, horrible experiment, as most of them are. 33 is the control. Wait. Yes. 33 is the... I had to think about that for a second. 33 is the control. 31... And here's where I'm going to spoil something.
Oh.
31 has cryogenically preserved Vault Tech employees to serve as overseers. And 32 is running an experiment where populations from 32 and 33 are beset by raiders and then repopulated, and then beset by raiders, and then repopulated, and then beset by raiders, over and over and over again. It's horrible.
That does not sound like fun. I will admit that.
Awful place.
Get off my keyboard, you son of a bitch.
Oh my, the kitties are being naughty.
Okay, so
Aaron, I talked about 76 earlier because it was the first vault to open.
Stop! For fuck's sake, I get it. You like the noise that the mechanical keyboard makes. I'm sorry you cannot play with it right now, but I need you to stop.
The kitties are walking on the keyboard.
They're not. Casey's like leaning against it because he likes the sound it makes when he leans against it.
So, like I mentioned, the show does borrow on several things direct from the games. Obviously, the two ways that you start, two of the games are directly in the show. Lucy does this like interview thing in the beginning. Lucy's the main character. She does this special interview. Special being the perks that you have inside the game. Your overseer doesn't send you off, though, is a difference. You leave on your own.
Oh.
You do, in the TV show, Lucy does immediately encounter the Brotherhood of Steel in an indirect sort of way. She encounters an Enclave defector, although she has no idea what that is. She is naive to her core. She has no idea what's going on. You get a very, very, very short education on the New California Republic. You meet Dogmeat 2.0 because that dog has never been given a name, so that's just what I'm going to call it. It's Dogmeat 2.0. And you meet this kind of... here's where I have problems with the show. The whole thing about this Enclave defector doesn't make a ton of sense because what you're trying to do is get his head back to this person who... Oh, you're right. The ghoul does call him to... I forgot about that.
Wow.
He does it one time, and it's a throwaway line, so I forgot. You're trying to get this guy's head to this character who's set up the entire TV show as a bad person, and then at the very end of the game you figure out that this person has been an agent for the New California Republic the entire time, and all she's trying to do is set up electricity for the city of Los Angeles. But the way she does it, I just have an issue with it scientifically. I'm not gonna go into what it is that she did, because the thing that he brings her fits inside a microchip in his neck, and what it produces just doesn't make any sense. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway.
Wow, okay.
Yep. It's a good show, though. If you're a fan of the games, it's a very good how do I say it? Intro
to the franchise itself.
To the franchise, yeah. So even if you haven't played any of the games, but you're like on the fringes of interest, give it a shot. I mean,
Fallout Science is a different league, man.
It is, but also,
I guess she's trying to say it's gotta make some kind of sense, because exaggerations happen, like me last night.
I mean, somewhere along the line, it does have to make some kind of sense, and what she makes just doesn't. It doesn't make long-term sense. That thing should have exploded, but it didn't. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Is it though? Because you seem pretty passionate about it, Jess.
I'm not. I'm gonna let it go because it's a TV show, and it doesn't have to make a ton of sense if it's a TV show. To be honest with you, so. Yeah. Anyway, well, I titled this section "The Fallout of Fallout" because I feel like that's appropriate for the legacy that Fallout leaves behind. This game has been in the history books since the early 90s.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's had a long standing.
It's been a hot minute. The OG Fallout was it started as a project in 1994 as a like a love letter to this tabletop RPG called GURPS, which I had never heard of before. And it was just like a concept thing. And they were going to release it like that. And Interplay, which is the people that actually produced the first two, they were going to try and produce Van Buren, which is a whole different conversation.
Okay.
They released it originally, and then the people behind GURPS were like, "Hey, this is really violent. We don't like that." so they had to withdraw some of the tactics and things that they had put in the original. It was going to be a fairly different game, is my understanding. And that's when they came up with the special system and how the perks would eventually work and all that jazz. So the game that became Fallout can very easily be credited as one of a few from the mid-90s that revived the RPG genre, as that genre, just in general, was facing some pretty stiff competition from others.
Probably from Pokemon.
Well, so that was an RPG in itself, and it was fairly new at the time too. And I think that one you could place right alongside Fallout as one that helped to reestablish the RPG or the JRPG specifically as
The
king
reigning
of the mountain, if you will. But yeah, in the early 90s, it was a lot of racing games, a lot of fighting games.
Yeah.
So, and the RPG genre in general just had some quality issues, especially when you were talking about PC RPG games. And so interest had kind of just fallen off. And the things that Fallout brought to the table, Fallout wasn't the first to do a lot of these things, but it really brought a lot of eyeballs to some of these things. So, for instance, the more or less open world of the first Fallout, the morality system, because there was a weird kind of yin and yang morality system to the first two. The perks system on the first, well, really on all of them. The special thing is not something that I recall ever having even come close to before I played Fallout. I don't recall a single instance of a game where I had anything like strength, perception, all that stuff. Unless it was D&D. They took that from D&D. Not that Fallout, like I said, was the first to do any of this, but every single solitary game, even the non-canon ones, of which there are 2, is so fucking packed to the gills with Easter eggs. I cannot possibly mention I can't scratch the surface of all these people put in so many pop culture references in just Fallout 2 alone that it took an hour for somebody on YouTube to go through and get maybe most of them.
Damn.
For one game. An hour! And mind you, a lot of these are just NPC dialogue, but as you go into the Bethesda ones, you get an awful lot of things in the Overseer logs.
Yeah,
that are quite a bit longer. That you can really sink your teeth into some meaty Easter eggs, and they are everywhere. I mean, Monty Python alone has a gross amount of Easter eggs.
That makes me laugh.
Yeah. Anyway, obviously Fallout hasn't been free from controversy.
Of course
as
not.
with nearly every game that we talk about on here. I mean, setting aside for just a second what happened with Fallout 76, Fallout 1 had this bizarre 50-day cycle that people hated so much that Interplay had to patch it out.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah. And then, of course, people hated the transition of the series from Interplay to Bethesda.
Of course, yeah.
But Interplay was going bankrupt, y'all. And they had to sell their IP. And even after all that, they still went bankrupt, and all the people that made Fallout moved to Obsidian, except for one guy. I forget where he went. And now those people are making it's a game that's about to come out, and I cannot remember, to save my life, what it is called. It's another fantasy RPG. It looks good.
Yeah.
And then there was, of course, what do I say about Fallout 4? It's, you know, what Todd Howard said about Skyrim. And
Todd Howard.
somehow it just works. That applies to Fallout 4. Also. It had, yes, Vowed. Thank you, Whitney. Fallout 4 had all the same problems as Skyrim.
Oh yeah, with mammoths falling from the sky.
If there could have been a mammoth in Fallout 4, I'm sure that would have happened. It had every problem that Skyrim had. And then there is what happened with Fallout 76. We won't go into that because we have talked about it at length, and I am tired of talking about Fallout 76. It's a lot. That's a long conversation. But even with all that, you just can't say enough about Fallout. I mean, it's just one of those series
fucking Bethesda
that we're all gonna remember as a, hey, did you play, this Fallout entry or that Fallout entry? And it's going to remain a super, super influential game. It's probably going to be one of those ones that somebody tries to save. Like, the video game historians are probably going to try to get at least 2, I imagine, of these entries remade at some point for preservation's sake. Yeah. The current iterations under Bethesda, they are what they are. They are probably going to live with Bethesda until Bethesda goes under.
Right.
Fallout is just such a deep, story-rich RPG. Every game has a great story. Almost every game has great, memorable characters, with one exception, and they're all just instant classics. I mean, we all have our favorite. If you've played any of them, you probably remember something memorable. I mean, I remember talking to a giant fucking brain. I can't get that image out of my head.
The giant fucking brain?
Giant fucking brain.
That's probably like, fuck humanity.
It wasn't quite as weird as Doom. And what happens at the end of Doom, the secret ending, the secret room in Doom. But it's so weird. Anyway.
Oh, I guess I could take the spoiler tag off, huh?
Yeah, you would have to do a whole stream on each game if you wanted to cover the lore. And really, if you wanted to be really, really in-depth, you would have to also cover those 2 canonical or non-canonical games, because they throw in like little tidbits that sort of give they shed some light on some things. One was a Brotherhood of Steel knockoff is not the word. It's like a splinter group, Brotherhood of Steel, and it was a tactics fighter. and it was not very well received. But then the other one never got made, but it was on the way to being made. It was Project Van Buren, and Interplay were trying to make it, and it was going to be their version of Fallout 3, and it has been, people have gotten a hold of the source code for Van Buren and tore it to pieces like a carcass.
Jesus.
Gotten every little tidbit, every morsel off that carcass that they could possibly get. So that's why, that one counts as non-canon too. But it just sheds a little bit of light on, well, here's what they were planning for this.
Here's the fandom in their very grotesque way of dealing with things.
I mean, if you found out that the original creator of your favorite video game had plans for a third one that didn't get made, and you knew that the source code was out there with lore in it, you would probably, if you had the chops, you would probably go out there and search it up.
Maybe.
I would, anyway.
Yeah, of course you would.
If all of a sudden Bethesda had to sell the Elder Scrolls to EA, and then EA canceled an Elder Scrolls game, and I found out that there was an Elder Scrolls 6 out there that never got made, and it had source code that leaked to the internet, I can promise you that I would spend days searching for that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Going through the dark webs?
I might. I might try it. That might get my BitTorrent activated.
Wow.
Anyway, that's our super, super, super high look at the Fallout series, just in general. Can't give too much time to any one video game in a stream like this, so it just had to be very general. But it was fun to talk about it because it's just one of those big looming series that we haven't talked about yet. I'm sitting here in the room by myself gesticulating with my hands.
What the hell?
Yep.
I know what that word means.
That's how I talk now. I gesticulate with my hands. Anyway.
I know what that word
Thanks
means.
for coming, everybody. Thank you for being here, Whitney. Nobody has guessed the second character yet. Somebody did say just general vault dweller.
I mean, it is a vault dweller, but it's the person that I'm looking for. And
it's a specific vault dweller.
Yeah, it's not a character from the series, though.
It's not a character from the series.
No. So my problem is that it looks nothing like her. So.
Oh, is it an OC?
No.
Is it the character from the show?
No. I didn't watch the show.
Oh, well, I mean, you could have looked it up. So.
Anyway.
This is a character from one of the video games?
I will tell you after stream. Because it is not a character from any of the games or the shows, so stop guessing that.
Okay. Well, guys, thanks for coming. Next week, like Melly said, we'll be off again so that Melly can go to StocktonCon.
Yeah, it's like that thing that I always talk about every year that I like going to. So, let me just get this, there you go. Gotta get the Deathclaw ready for its big makeover. Let's see. Okay. So, yes. I will not be here next weekend. Whit and I will be at StocktonCon Summer in Stockton, California at the Stockton Arena. So if you are at the Stockton, California area on July 13th and 14th, come by StocktonCon to look for us in Artist Alley, where we will be hopefully chilling and not dying of heat stroke. Because it's a big old auditorium and lots of people like to come. So,
For you.
yeah, for real. I will have new stickers. Because I'm not the one who makes it. I make the art, and then Whitney does all of the fancy production where she cuts them and all that fancy jazz. So I have a lot to thank for her for doing all of that for me. So it cuts up my middleman. So I'm hoping there'll be new stickers. There will be restocks of other stickers that I ran out of in my last convention, and there will be a brand new display. I bought so much to change up how my booth looks. So there's that as well. And so I'm very excited to go next week. And it's like my little vacation, even though it'll probably be hot. But I'm hoping with all the new stuff in my new booth display that people will recognize me and come back to my table and say hi. Because I like when people do that. So that's why I will not be here. That's why we will not be streaming. But join us the week after.
Yeah, the week after. It's funny,
Hold
all
on.
this talk about Bethesda. Yet
Why are my stickers sitting on your floor? Are you talking about the display stuffs? The display stuffs.
the disrespect.
So Whitney, okay, so a little side note, because I know this is our outro. So Whitney and I were discussing it. We were just like on voice chat because we'd been playing Minecraft together earlier this morning, and I got the email from Amazon. It was like, your package delivered. So I was like, oh, Winnie, I just got the email that Amazon just delivered something. And she's like, yeah, it's a little depressing when we get packages at the door and they're not for us. And I was like, one of these days I'm just going to buy a random thing and it'll be in your name. That way you feel included. But anyway, so that was funny. So yeah, there's going to be a bunch of new stuff for the display. I'm very, very excited. I'm also going to change up how I display my stickers. Probably not this coming convention, but definitely Lodi in fall. No, because Lodi is after. My next convention after this is Annie Medford.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so that's why we won't be here next week. That was my whole point of saying all of that. The week after, though, on the 20th, what is our stream on the 20th, Jesse?
Y'all, we are kind of sticking in the same Bethesda-y vein. We're going to be talking about bugs.
Bugs? Oh, bugs! Like glitches and shit.
Yeah.
I for some reason was like, why are we talking about insects?
No, bugs.
Bugs. Alright, next stream we're talking about bugs, glitches, and the like that either improve our gameplay or completely hinder it, and we want our refunds. So, be sure to come back on July 20th. I don't have anything going on that day. I do get invited to a lot of shit that I like, debating whether or not I want to accept getting invited to. But anyway, that's not here. I still haven't updated the Melzoc store. I do plan on doing that. If not while I'm on my off season for my full-time job, it will be during my off season so I can revamp some of these stickers and stuff that are there and add the new stuff there. I'm hoping to also like get a bunch of new items for the booth by Annie Medford, so please look forward to it, because the project that I had really desperately wanted to work out for Stockton fell through, and I think I'm going to have to just pick it up on my off season when I have the time and energy to try and develop a new skill. But yeah, so thanks for coming today. We really enjoy it. I have no idea if I'm going to finish this piece. I guess you guys will find out. Oh, I'm not going to do doodle time next week because of the convention. You'll find out at some point. Come on.
Point in the future.
But if you guys want the updates and whether or not I actually will be continuing this piece, join the Confab Corner Discord server, previously the Paddle Protagonist Discord server. The Confab Corner is more for our entertainment, in which we receive gaming news and the like, as well as play bot games, which one is both competitive and wholesome at the same time. Don't ask me how that works, because I don't know. We also do live doodle times in which I do live art streams, that which I will not do next week due to my event coming up. And we do watch parties and game nights. This last game night we did yesterday was actually a very special one in which we did Dungeons and Dragons with myself, Jesse, 2 others, and Whitney as our DM. So it was very fun. It's once a month. Anybody who is in the Confab Corner is always welcome to join and listen in on the shenanigans that happen during
Yeah,
the
you
D&D.
can come listen to my really bad accent.
And then on our regular game nights, we just pick a game and we go with it. It could be Minecraft, it could be Pal World, it could be a random thing on our browser. The opportunities are endless. Sometimes it's just our own thing and we just hang out just for the sake of hanging out. So definitely join for all of that, not to mention the contests that we have on the server for free art. So there's my outro. Are you ready, Jesse?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Paddle Protagonists out! Bye!
Bye.